Another iconic photograph, working with a volatile band at a volatile time of music, an exciting time of music in the course of when music was changing.
There was a lot going on in the 70s. You know, we were starting with the glam era in the early days, and the New York Dolls kind of influencing the Ramones, who influenced England. At the same time that the disco movement was coming up, and people were wearing death to disco buttons. I went more for the rock and roll side. Because I knew the people. I'd met Malcolm McLaren when he was working with the New York Dolls, and when I went to England a year later, and he introduced me to the Sex Pistols, and at the same place I met the Clash. And
was your relationship with the Clash an easy relationship? Were you a fan and then you became a photographer?
Well, it was. I saw them the first year in '76, and I just kind of said hello to them one night. I came back a year later, and I really wanted to see them because the show I had seen was just one of the most powerful shows, and I wanted to see that Clash band again. You know,
I like that he's got I'd never noticed he has a New York Post T-shirt on.
You know, this was 2 days before. They were playing at Bonds in New York, and they had oversold. The promoter had oversold it, and the fire department closed it down. So there was kind of a riot in Times Square, and the Post picked up on it, went Clash in Times Square, which is exactly why they picked the name, because there were clashes all over the place.
That's awesome.
But this one was actually about them.
But you revisited your Clash picture with Green Day.
Well, the roof on the RCA building is about 20 blocks north of the Empire State Building. And to me, it's the best roof in New York because you get to see the Empire State, which is the main
Hold on, I need to write
focus.
this down.
Okay.
Big rock band.
Well, because it's the best place. 'Cause many people think that if you get on top of New York, you want to go up to the top of the Empire State Building and take a picture of all of New York around you. But then you miss the Empire State, which is the most important part of the skyline. Right. But if you go in the RCA building, the Empire State is right there in front of you, and it just says New York City. And then recently, when Green Day was doing a live TV show in the studio, they did Saturday Night Live is shot from that building. And I said, you know, we're in the same building. I took the Clash picture. Do you want to go on the roof? And they went, well, yeah.
So were you actually recreating that photograph with?
Well, not specifically, but we were going to the same spot on purpose, you know, because the Green Day's are huge fans, like I am, of the Clash, and just the idea of going back to that same spot. But in the 25 years, the technology is different. The Green Day picture is a digital color picture, which, you know, gives it, a whole different aspect to it.
I photographed Green Day a couple of times. My first time, we were shooting for, an hour, and at the end, they said, are we done? And Trey said, are you sure you're done? And I said, yeah, I'm totally done. And he kicked down my entire set.
Yeah, Trey will do that. Well, there's one of the pictures.
Wow.
Knocked it all down. He goes, I just wanted to make sure. So we are done.
Wow.
Yeah, Trey is a loose cannon.
So this leads us to a segment called Fishbowl. I get to go into the fishbowl and ask the first question, which I will address to Bob. What is the greatest change in photography in the last decade?
I think, the fact that the camera makes it so easy to take a picture, combined with the fact that it's easy to get the picture out. Like, you used to have to figure out the math, figure out the f-stops, the focal length, the speed of the film, develop the film, make a print, mail it or send it somewhere. Now, you push one button, the camera does all the work, and then you plug it in, you put it in a computer, you push another button, and it's all over the world in seconds. It's a little competitive, but now that everybody can take a picture.
But here's the thing, everybody can't take a good picture.
Well, that's the truth.
That's the thing.
One of my pet peeves is that everybody takes 200 pictures at an event and then they put them all up on Facebook or wherever. I think you should do editing. Take the one good one, because my secret of success is that I edit, and I take a lot of pictures and I pick out the good one, and if you just show good pictures, people think you're good. Yeah.
Bob, why don't you grab one and ask Kevin a question?
Okay. All right, it's fun. What separates the good photographers from the great ones?
Oh, wow, that's a really good question. I mean, to me,
it's a simple answer, but it's just the thing is that you look at the photograph and it moves you in some kind of way. You connect with it emotionally. You can look at it again and again, and it can make you feel something. Well, it's like rock and roll. You can take the 3 same chords, right? And you can either, write Imagine, or you can write something lousy. You know?
I think you're exactly right, because the way I think of it is that a good photograph can show you the facts of what's going on, but a great photograph can show you the feelings, you know, and make you relate to the feelings. There's a lot of intuition. You have to know what could be coming and be in the right place at the right time, ready to capture what hasn't happened yet. But you have to be there before it happens.
Kevin, why don't you ask us a question and see if we can't all get into it a little bit. I hate answering questions, so I might just pass by this.
Here's something good to talk about. Why is conversation becoming a lost art?
I have nothing to say about that.
Well, I mean, I'd say two things. One is that one of the things I like about being an actor is that once you say action, you have to listen to the person that you're sitting there with. And a lot of times that's to me, can separate the men from the boys, so to speak, in terms of good actors. Good actors are people that listen to each other and are honestly talking to the other person.
Mystic River was one of my favorite movies of all time, and just as a fan of that movie, can you tell me one quick little anecdote about that movie that kind of separated that for you from...
Oh, yeah, Mystic River was a great movie to make. I had wanted to work with Eastwood for a long time, and it's one of those weird things where you don't really audition for Clint. It's more kind of like you hear that maybe he's interested, and then you just sit there and hope to get the call.
And what an incredible cast that you were.
Yeah, great cast. Great cast, and you know, that was one of those ones where, you know, you hope that you have one good element in any gig, you know what I mean? You hope that like you really like the director, you really like your co-star, the script's great, or the part, or whatever. This is one of those ones where like every day was fantastic, and we were in Boston. He shoots really pretty short days, so there was a lot of good hang to, you know, to say the least. And it was just a blast. We had a great time.
So Bob, I guess we're 1 degree from Kevin now.
Oh, okay.
So this is gonna raise the bump.
I just figured out in my heart of hearts, I've always been a 0.
Thank you guys for coming. Bob Gruen, Rock Scene, a new book coming out, and the great Kevin Bacon, thank you so much for coming and sharing your work with us.
Thanks, it's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
Your new series comes out in January.
Yeah.
And you play? I
play an FBI agent, ex-FBI agent, who's on the trail of a serial killer.
I'm watching it.
Please do.
Well, this has been great. Thank you again for both of you for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure to be here.
Hey, it's Mark Seliger. Click the subscriber button below if you don't want to miss new episodes on Capture. It's only on reserve, only on YouTube. Go ahead and click it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Are you serious? I'm sitting here with David Sally and Cause, and this is Artist Talk. Have you ever gotten into any legal problems?
Nothing that wasn't controllable.
You know, there's that fine line between creativity and just mania. I think if I wasn't a writer, I would be a neurotic, strange person that people would want to stay away from. It's like harnessing your OCD.
Harnessing my OCD. That's a genius.
Hey, I'm Joy Bryant, and I am a board sport enthusiast. I like to shred. And on my new show, Across the Board, I'm going to be shredding with the best of them.
Want to shred, yeah.
Yeah, I want to shred.
Yeah, well, let's do it.
My favorite friends, celebrities, athletes, artists. We're going to snowboard, we're going to surf, we're going to skateboard, we're going to have a great time. Well, we both came over, went over some hurdles, a little obstacles today.
Yeah.
You break through shyness, and me...
Breaking through that
What?
Tom, how's it going, dude?
How you doing?
Good to see you, man.
I don't know if you're gonna make it or not.
No, I mean, 5 a.m. is tough.
What do we got right there? Shark, I see him right there. Oh. All right, come on. This is the frisky one here. Yeah, be careful, guys.
Yeah, you have a reputation of pissing people off. Like, your blog pisses people off.
It pisses people off. This face pisses people off, But, yeah, sometimes I get along.
Did your dad, was he on you constantly telling you how to do it since he was in the business?
My dad was such a dick, because he'll always tell me I suck, and then when he's in front of other people, that's my son. That's my son. He's real good. Jim. Yeah.
Me too.